Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Mostly clear skies throughout the evening. We will stay above freezing tonight. Low temperature is going to be around 35 degrees. Your Friday is going to be another sunny day with a little bit warmer high temperature. We'll get up near 59 degrees by the afternoon. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Thought-provoking conversations and informed perspectives.
It's meant for everyday people to understand, and you don't have to stress about technical terms and stuff. They just say it like a real person.
WSIC News Talk Now.
All right, everyone, here we are. We are back. Another edition of the Scoreboard here on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM, and video always to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, WSICnews.com. You can find us everywhere. We're all over. You can also call into the show, 704-873-1400. That is the phone number, and I will be taking any and all phone calls today. Yesterday was a pretty good show, actually. We had another guest on, Nick DiCostanzo, from the MLB data operations, and talked a little bit about the winter meetings through the MLB and some news around a superstar, Juan Soto, and, maybe he'll end up on a different team somewhere. There was rumors, there was reports, and then late last night, the news broke. Juan Soto was traded to the New York Yankees for a haul of prospects and a couple MLB-ready players already, including one of the catcher for the New York Yankees, Kyle Higashioka. We'll get into that. We'll talk about the MLB. We'll talk about winter meetings, Shohei Ohtani, how this affects that, all of that fun stuff a little bit later in the show. Also, we have Thursday Night Football tonight. It is a jam-packed day. Today and tomorrow, this weekend, jam-packed with stuff to keep you informed on. The NFL tonight, Thursday Night Football, one of the lowest over-unders of all time in an NFL game, with Kenny Pickett hurt for the Steelers, and the Patriots, well, they're still looking for a replacement for Brady. This game it's going to be an ugly one, and I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't watch. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't watch. This is going to be one of the ugliest games I've ever seen. And who knows, if somehow this turns out to be like a 35-42 football game, I'd be like, all right, I guess we got our money's worth, because these are two terrible teams. Really funny stuff here, though. Somehow the Patriots are still eligible for the playoffs. Don't know how. They only have 2 wins, but they are still eligible, so not all hope is lost. Also later, we'll talk about the NBA. In-season tournament, we have the semifinals today. That'll be a good one. The Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Indiana Pacers. That game is actually going on as we speak, with Indiana up 54-44. And then later tonight at 9 o'clock, the Lakers take on the Pelicans. Winners will meet in the finals. This is the first ever in-season tournament, so we'll see what ends up happening with that game. And I'll tell you what, the uniforms are nice, the courts are nice. I don't have a problem with it, and I do think that the NBA is doing good. So we'll get into all of that later. But as we always start every single show now, we got to talk about the high school scene, and holy cow, we have an update with West Iredell and what their basketball schedule and basketball scores turned out to be. We were still trying to figure out how they did against South Iredell and against Elkin. Turns out they lost against South Iredell and beat Elkin. So right now, West Iredell sitting at 1-3 on the year. Games tomorrow. We also tomorrow have only one high school football state championship game. The 3A championship, and we're going to probably talk a little bit more about the football aspect right now. Tomorrow we'll talk more about basketball. 2 locations for these games: Keenan Memorial Stadium at UNC Chapel Hill and Carter Finley Stadium at North Carolina State University. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., the 3A state championship. That is Hickory versus 71st at UNC. So that one's at Keenan Memorial. And then Saturday is a full slate of high school football championships, state championship games. So at noon, we have the 1A championship. That is Mount Airy taking on Tarboro. That game is at UNC Chapel Hill. The 2A championship is at NC State University. That game taking place at 3 o'clock. Reedsville versus Clinton. And then the night game, 7 o'clock, 4A. The big schools are going to go at it. Weddington down in Charlotte taking on Hoggard. Those games at NC State University. So we are right here at the end of the high school football season. It's going to be a lot of basketball until the end of the year. And then in the spring, we'll pick up some other sports like baseball, tennis, things like that. And as always, we'll keep you updated on how those go. But we have a little bit of time here left in the first segment, so we are going to update you on the basketball scene. A lot of games going on tomorrow. So starting with the Statesville Greyhounds, I want to start with them because they have not played a lot of games this year. Only 2 games to start their season. They're 1-1. They've played 2 games in a month. Well, tomorrow they get to finally play another basketball game. They are on the road, though, and they will be taking on Mooresville. So a tough fight for Statesville High School coming back from their hiatus. Also, you have the Lake Norman Wildcats, who started 7-0 on the year. They don't play on Friday. They play next week. Game's actually at 6 o'clock, so be aware that it is on the road at Mount Tabor. And then after they're on the road, they do get to come back home to take on Statesville. So they got a little bit of a home stretch there. And then also Mooresville on a little bit of a home stretch here. They have 6 home games in a row. Pretty good spot to be. Also, we have West Iredell playing tomorrow. They are at home against Wilkes Central. They already played once this year. They were at Wilkes Central back in November. They lost that one 71-61. North Iredell has a game on the road, and it is a Iredell-Statesville school rivalry game. South Iredell, it's at South Iredell. That game tipping off at 7:30. All of those games taking place tomorrow. And then lastly, as we update the South Iredell side of things, they play North Iredell, then they come back on Monday for another home game against Stuart W. Kramer. So we'll make sure we keep you updated on the scores, who's looking good around the area. And I'll tell you what, Lake Norman right now looks like they might be the team in the area to keep an eye on. 7-0 to start their season, and they haven't had too many close games with that. And, it's Lake Norman High School. They always seem to have good sports programs over there. So we'll see how their season turns out. Long way to go. We have until about February before we start looking to the state championship playoff, state playoff games. So we'll keep an eye on everything, and as always, keep you informed and up to date. Segment number 1 is already over on this Thursday. Don't go anywhere. We're going to return. We're going to talk baseball. We're going to talk Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani. Apparently, we have a decision just days away. So we'll see who to keep an eye on. You're listening to the Scoreboard here on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. Don't go anywhere because we are back right after this.
more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. 12 Days of Christmas giveaways starts this week, December 7th through the 22nd. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN, where winners will be announced. Some of the prizes include a scooter, karaoke machine, tech toys, and a free stay at Greystone Lodge in Boone. WSIC's 12 Days of Christmas giveaway starts this week. The Docksiders, performing at Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday, are almost sold out. The Docksiders will take you back to the year 1981. Their unique and eclectic tribute act of yacht rock features songs from Hall & Oates, Christopher Cross, Kenny Loggins, and more. The Docksiders, Saturday, December 9th at Kane Center for the Arts. To purchase your tickets, visit kanearts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? The Amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include Time with Santa and 8 digital images from a professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Come enjoy a classic Christmas in Mooresville this Friday. Wagon rides, ice skating, face painting, life-size snow globes, and so much more. Enjoy some time with Santa and the Winter Wonderland experience this Friday night, starting at 5 p.m. For more info, visit mooresvillenc150.com. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Mostly clear skies throughout the evening. We will stay above freezing tonight. Low temperature is going to be around 35 degrees. Your Friday is going to be another sunny day with a little bit warmer high temperature. We'll get up near 59 degrees by the afternoon. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
The Ugly Antenna has now become a household name in this area. The Ugly Antenna allows those without a streaming provider to receive up to 50 channels absolutely free of charge, including Fox 46.1. The Ugly Antenna is small and connects directly to your TV. Get the Ugly Antenna for just $40. Call 704-682-1755. That's 704-682-1755 for the Ugly Antenna.
Santa says, stay informed with the best talk from WSIC.
The Scoreboard with Joe Berg continues now on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, we are back. Segment number 2 here on the Scoreboard. 704-873-1400. That is the phone number. If you have question, comment, concern, just want to say something, you can call me up. I'm here. I'll be here until 7. We're going to move our attention to the MLB, Major League Baseball, with a massive news break last night. The New York Yankees have made a trade with the San Diego Padres. Juan Soto is on his way to the Yankees for a host of prospects. So Juan Soto goes to the Yankees along with outfielder Trent Grisham. To the San Diego Padres are 5 players: right-hander Michael King, prospect Drew Thorpe, right-hander Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, and catcher Kyle Higashioka. Pretty decent haul back. I would have thought there'd be a little bit more going back to whoever traded for Soto, but this is kind of what we talked about with Nick DiCostanzo yesterday. Like, nobody really knew that he wanted out, and now Soto's going to be on his third team. He's only 25 years old. Is there something we don't know about? Is there a gripe within the organization? Is somebody unhappy? Is he tough to deal with? These are the things that I'm starting to think, because that is while it is a good haul to get back for Juan Soto, the prospects are great. I expected slightly more. And this is the first big domino to fall in the MLB offseason. And this is a domino we didn't even know was going to fall. I mean, there was a little bit of a rumor earlier in the year that the Yankees were kicking the tires on Juan Soto with the Padres, but nobody thought that it was going to amount to anything. It kind of fell by the wayside. And now we get into the offseason, winter meetings. All of a sudden, Juan Soto's on the move again. So the Yankees get Juan Soto without decimating their roster. Too bad. They could be a contender this year. There's just something about this Yankee team with the management and the ownership. They could have all the superstars they want. I still don't think they're going to be the team to beat next year. And there's still another piece of the puzzle that needs to fall here, and we're still waiting on word, although the reports are that it's just days away as of yesterday. Here are the teams reportedly still in the mix for the greatest player of our generation in any sport, besides maybe Messi, Shohei Ohtani. No, Shohei's probably even better. The Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Giants, possibly the Cubs, and the LA Angels. I've been saying it since, I don't know how many times I've really mentioned it on air, but I've been saying it since the jump. He's going to one of two places. He's either coming back to the Angels, which I think is a mistake, or he's going to go to San Francisco, which, they're building something over there. They had a 100-win season not too long ago as they continue to try to rebuild their roster. That would be a real good jumpstart to getting them back into a competitive swing. I personally believe it's going to be the Giants. I've thought that for a while now, especially after what happened to them a couple of years ago here, when we were waiting on word of a Carlos Correa 13-year massive extension. The physical didn't work. The medicals weren't good. That contract broke down. Then you heard, oh my goodness, San Francisco is going to be the favorite to get Aaron Judge. And Judge wanted to go. He did. But at the end of the day, he was asked what he needed to stay in New York. And the report is that all he said was, I just need that 9th year. And once he said that, negotiations ended. He signed the contract and remained a New York Yankee. So the Giants have been looking for a superstar to market, and it's going to be easy for them to market a superstar, in my opinion. They are an organization that is used to it. And I know there's controversy around it, but whether it's Barry Bonds or Madison Bumgarner, it doesn't matter who it is. Players that play on the Giants, especially when they're good. So I don't know where Shohei ends up, but I do have a good thought that he's going to be a San Francisco Giant. But this is a domino that's about to fall. And I would expect that once we find out where Ohtani goes, then we'll start to see some other contracts being signed as teams try to round out their roster. The other player that you should be keeping an eye on is another Japanese prospect. So the New York Yankees and the New York Mets are currently in a bidding war against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He is a pretty highly touted Japanese player, and all the reports say that the Mets and the Yankees are the two teams that it's coming down to, We don't know where he's going to go, but he is a very, very highly touted prospect. I don't know if he would be as well thought of because he's won a few MVPs back in Japan, but I don't know if he would be as well thought of if Ohtani was still playing overseas. You probably wouldn't hear about him too much because Ohtani would be winning all those MVPs. He's winning MVPs in the U.S. without even playing a full season. That's all you need to know. So we'll see what happens in the MLB. And this offseason, while it started off a little slow, it's starting to pick up a little bit. And look, next year's going to be a good year for baseball. I'm excited to see what kind of rule changes they make. I hope that they do something along the line. Because, look, we can argue whether or not we want automatic ball strike call from a robot or if we just want to leave it as an umpire using their discretion. We can debate it all we want. But at the end of the day, eventually we're getting to a robotic system. I would hope that that robotic system is what they're testing in some of the lower leagues. Not something that calls the ball and the strike, but allowing the umpire to still have their zone, do their thing. And if a player wants to challenge the call, they can tap their helmet. It'll show on the big screen. Everybody will see if it was a ball or a strike. And then we move on. I like that system more than any system that I've seen. I don't want a piece like a headset in an umpire's ear telling him ball or strike and then letting him make the call. Because we've seen a few in the lower leagues. Look, the curveballs that these pitchers throw nowadays have so much break to them. If you just clip the bottom of the plate right at the front, it's called a strike. It might be technically a strike, but we got to use a little bit of discretion on those, like something that breaks into the dirt before it even gets even with the batter. It's hard for me to see that as a strike, but we'll see. And some other things that we might see changed in the MLB. We're hearing rumors of the pitch clock doing a little bit of a change. Now, it was 15 seconds without anybody on, 20 with somebody on base. I'm hearing that we could end up seeing just 17 or 18 seconds universally. I've also seen where they might take away a pickoff move. So you could pick off once, but if you pick off a second time, you better get him out. Otherwise, it's a balk. And again, they're just trying to increase movement on the field, The steal numbers went up drastically this year. I mean, just look at some of the seasons that we had. Ronald Acuna, very much. Thank you. 40-70 season. Absolutely insane. And the steal numbers will go up if that does happen. I'll tell you right now. Coming up on the end of the second segment here, and a quick update on our NBA in-season tournament game, because as I said, that game is going on as we speak. Pacers are leading 63-51 currently at halftime, and then later tonight, the New Orleans Pelicans take on the Los Angeles Lakers. A little bit tongue-tied there. So we'll see what happens with the in-season tournament. I've liked it so far. I think the intensity is what the NBA is looking for. I think that what they're not looking for is the controversy surrounding the Suns-Lakers game with the loose ball, and whether or not he got a timeout. And look, let's make this really simple. The timeout should have not been granted. The ball was loose when LeBron called timeout, but the official he was signaling to did not have the best view of what was going on. And that's why it happens. And sometimes these things happen in sports. It's not good for the NBA to have this happen because of past issues with officiating is all I'll say about it. But it happened, and we move on. And we continue to move on every time there's a controversy. It's just the way of sports. We got our break coming up halfway through the show today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be talking NBA. We'll be talking NFL and NHL hockey on the other side of the break. Stay with me. We're back after this.
it right here. There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Quality Car Care is your local Toyota specialist and a licensed NC inspection station. Plus, find a huge selection of quality pre-owned cars at QualityCarCareStatesville.com or call 704-871-2535.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Mostly clear skies throughout the evening. We will stay above freezing tonight. Low temperature is going to be around 35 degrees. Your Friday is going to be another sunny day with a little bit warmer high temperature. We'll get up near 59 degrees by the afternoon. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Hi, it's Kathy, General Manager at Stretch Zone. Practitioner-assisted stretching is beneficial to everyone. At Stretch Zone, we customize our programs to meet our clients' needs. We are located at 20545 Torrance Chapel Road in Cornelius and 591 River Highway in Mooresville. Schedule your free stretch today at Stretch Zone Mooresville and Cornelius.
Mention you heard about Stretch Zone on WSIC and get an additional free stretch with your program. Make your work easier with Eagle Rentals of Troutman and Statesville. Eagle Rentals has generators, heaters, fans, painting equipment, floor care equipment, pressure washers, lighting equipment, and lawn care equipment. Plus, Eagle Rentals has construction equipment like forklifts, bobcat loaders, backhoes, excavators, and more. Reserve online at EagleRentals.com. That's EagleRentals.com. Looking for a great way to say thank you to your employees, connect with your customers, or send a holiday gift? Black Powder Coffee can customize a coffee and tea basket or box for you. And don't miss out on Black Powder Coffee's Holiday Blend, a smooth flavor profile with a bright beginning, buttery caramel, and baked chocolate finish. Black Powder Coffee, 261 Rolling Hill Road, or online at blackpowdercoffee.com. The Statesville Family YMCA reminds you that older adults and those with chronic health conditions don't need to feel they must accept impaired balance and limited mobility. Build strength, improve balance, and gain confidence in your mobility through the Moving for Better Balance program. For questions and additional information, email C. Mullins at ymcanwnc.org.
Hi folks, Pat Shannon inviting you to join me for the Home Ad Show. We help you sell things, buy things, celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and have a lot of fun in the process. Weekday mornings from 9 to 11, here on News Talk WSIC.
The Panthers' ground game found another gear last week, and they're looking to build on that success moving forward. I'm Sharon Thorson with the Panthers Update after this.
As the official ticket marketplace of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Panthers at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. With Ticketmaster's interactive seat map, you'll get a 360-degree preview of your seat so you can make sure you have the best view of those pivotal plays. Plus, the Ticketmaster app makes it easy to sell or transfer tickets if your plans change, and mobile tickets make getting in on game day a breeze. Find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Panthers.
The Panthers really got the ground game going last week against the Bucs, picking up 133 rushing yards. Third-year running back Chuba Hubbard led the way with a career-high 25 carries for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game. Hubbard has emerged as the Panthers' lead back this season with 557 yards and 4 touchdowns, and says things are starting to click for them on the ground, and now they want to build on that success.
Continue what we're doing, building off the fundamentals, doing the right things, and playing clean football. I mean, the thing about last week is we really haven't changed anything crazy of what we've been doing before. It just finally broke through. So just got to play clean football and take the coaching and execute the plays.
Executing plays this week will be challenging in the Caesars Superdome, which is known for its rowdy fans and extremely loud atmosphere. The Panthers have already played in some loud environments this season, though, and center Bradley Bozeman says they're prepared heading into New Orleans.
We've kind of done some different things with our snap counts and different processes that we have, trying to get in and out of the huddle. I think that's one of the biggest keys, is just making sure we're getting out of the huddle fast enough. Make sure we have plenty of time to work with on the shot clock and just continue to work and get those lines of communication, hand signals, and whatever it may be down.
I'm Sharon Thorson on the Panthers Radio Network, presented by Morris Jenkins.
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's The Scoreboard on the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
All right, everyone. Welcome back here to another segment of The Scoreboard. WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. Call me up, 704-873-1400. That is our phone number. Just wanting to look around what's going on in the world of sports. And we didn't really have that much time yesterday to discuss this, but this was a very interesting report that came out about Panthers tight end Hayden Hurst. He suffered a bad concussion against the Bears a few weeks ago when the Panthers played the Bears, and ended up being diagnosed with post-traumatic amnesia. He says he can't remember anything up to 4 hours before the game. That's a pretty scary situation. It really is. Also, before we get into the rest of the show here, I don't really know exactly where this falls in as far as importance in the NASCAR realm, but we talked about it after the final race of the regular season. Will NASCAR, or will Daytona International Speedway, change the course? Will they get rid of a lot of the grass on the backstretch? And well, we have a video from IMSA. We have IMSA cars on the track at Daytona, and you can see as they go through that chicane, there's a lot less grass. I have a problem with this at this point. These racetracks are now just looking like a pile of concrete. No green, nothing. I mean, it's kind of gross. I like seeing, a little bit of grass on the track to make it feel like, it's an actual place and not just a big, giant 2-mile complex of just asphalt. What do I know, though? NASCAR knows best, right? And this is just a quick little video that IMSA posted on Twitter. You can see as the cars go through the chicane, they took away the grass right at the beginning of the chicane. And they've been taking away grass year after year, it feels like. I don't like it. Anyway, we have the NBA in-season tournament going on. We have a game going on right now, actually. The Pacers are taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. And, well, Indiana went into halftime with a pretty solid lead. But as we've started the second half, the Bucks are starting to come back. And I don't know if you're paying attention to this game, but let's talk about the court. Let's talk about this basketball court. Oh my goodness. It's a pretty ugly red and blue court with and did you see the report about the NBA forcing the Lakers to change their jerseys because of a contrast with the court that they are putting down? they were kind of camouflaged, I guess. A little bit of a mess here, but I'm looking at some of the footage right now of this in-season tournament game. Semifinals, the crowd could be better, in my opinion. But we'll see what we get. And like I've been saying about this in-season tournament, I want to wait until after the regular season, after the playoffs end. That way we can gather numbers from the regular season, numbers from the in-season tournament, numbers from the play-in tournament, and numbers from the actual playoffs to see what kind of ratings did the in-season tournament get. Is it working? Is it doing what it was designed to do? And what it was designed to do is put the NBA back on TV and get people tuning in. That's it. It's nothing more, nothing less. And I think it is working, because if you were listening to yesterday's show, when we talked to Nick DiCostanzo, who's with the MLB, he told me that he's starting to get back into the NBA, and he was checking out the in-season tournament to see what it was all about. All right. It sounds like it's working if you take a case study of one. I don't know, though. And I do think that it's a success for now. But we'll see what happens as we move through the rest of the tournament and the rest of the regular season in the NBA. We're coming up on Christmas. And I mean, Christmas Day games for the NBA used to be really important. Now it seems like the NFL is trying to overshadow them. But after Christmas, after New Year's is usually when the NBA really starts to pick up some steam, and you'll start to hear about it more in the grand scheme of the sports schedule that is the U.S. sports calendar. You know, once we get into the playoffs for football, if your team's not in it, you're probably going to tune more into the NBA. It's just how it goes. And there's a lot of teams out of it in the NFL right now. Oh, boy, including your Carolina Panthers. We don't have to talk about them today, though. They played the Saints on Sunday. That's something, I guess. 1-11, officially eliminated from the playoffs. I would say put the young guy in and let him learn, but, you know, they've had the young guy in, and they're trying to let him learn. I don't know how he's learning anything when his coach gets fired after 10 games, but I'm not a multi-billionaire, so I don't know how to run a football team. And the reports coming out about Frank Reich and the Panthers and David Tepper and the relationship between everyone is just, it sounds like a mess. I saw a comparison the other day, and I like to, when I look at the reports on Twitter on the Panthers, I like to read some of the comments, because that's how you know what the general fans think, like people who are just kind of online and comment on these things. I saw one comment that said, David Tepper has already turned into the new Dan Snyder. Oof. I hope that's not true. I really hope it's not true. But he is off to a very bad start as his Carolina Panthers continue to stink. And there's no other word for it other than stink. We do have football tonight, though. Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm strong enough for this. The Patriots and the Steelers. Oh, man. And you might be saying to yourself, what's wrong with that? The Steelers are 7-5. Yeah, the Patriots stink, but the Steelers are good. Well, yeah, the thing is, they're not a good team. The offense is terrible. And they don't have their starting quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky versus Bailey Zappi. Anybody? Anybody? No? Come on, those are going to be your Pro Bowl quarterbacks this year. Come on. I don't know if I'm strong enough for this one. We will talk about it tomorrow, and we'll talk about how ugly it was. But I'll tell you what, at least there is in-season basketball tournament in-season tournament going on for the NBA to distract us from the terrible game that we're going to see tonight. But don't get your hopes up. It's going to be ugly. One more segment here on the scoreboard on this Thursday. Don't go anywhere. When we're back, we're going to put a bow on everything today, talk a little NHL, lead you off into Friday. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
More of The Scoreboard with Joe Berg is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. 12 Days of Christmas giveaways starts this week, December 7th through the 22nd. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN, where winners will be announced. Some of the prizes include a scooter, karaoke machine, tech toys, and a free stay at Greystone Lodge in Boone. WSIC's 12 Days of Christmas giveaway starts this week. The Docksiders, performing at Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday, are almost sold out. The Docksiders will take you back to the year 1981. Their unique and eclectic tribute act of yacht rock features songs from Hall & Oates, Christopher Cross, Kenny Loggins, and more. The Docksiders, Saturday, December 9th at Kane Center for the Arts. To purchase your tickets, visit kanearts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? The Amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include Time with Santa and 8 digital images from a professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Come enjoy a classic Christmas in Mooresville this Friday. Wagon rides, ice skating, face painting, life-size snow globes, and so much more. Enjoy some time with Santa and the Winter Wonderland experience this Friday night, starting at 5 p.m. For more info, visit mooresvillenc150.com. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Mostly clear skies throughout the evening. We will stay above freezing tonight. Low temperature is going to be around 35 degrees. Your Friday is going to be another sunny day with a little bit warmer high temperature. We'll get up near 59 degrees by the afternoon. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive. Whatever the season is, Randy Marion service departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
'Tis the season on WSIC.
It's The Scoreboard with your host, Sports Director Joe Berg, on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, everyone. Welcome back. Final segment of the day. WSIC 105.9 100.7 FM. Monitoring the in-season tournament NBA game as we head through the rest of this show. Indiana was up 12 at halftime. With 6 minutes left in the third, Milwaukee is now up by 4. It happens that fast in the NBA. NBA, man, I always say a 15-point lead in the NBA is like nothing. You hit 3 3-pointers and get stops on the other end. All of a sudden, you're right back in it. 6-point game. It's very easy to come back. Well, okay. It's not very easy. but it is very possible to make comebacks in the NBA, especially right at a halftime. 12-point game, all of a sudden, that deficit is erased, and now the Bucks are leading. And I would expect them to win this game, honestly, without even thinking about it as a playoff game, without thinking of it as a tournament game, just the teams that are on the court. You would expect the Bucks to win. They're one of the favorites to win the NBA championship this year. They have Dame Lillard now. But this game is still in full swing. Giannis in the first half had 20 points. He's now up to 25. And speaking of Dame Lillard, he's at 18 points. We will continue to update you on this game as we head through the rest of the show. Only a few minutes left here today. So a little bit of news for you. This Thursday night game, boy, oh boy, is this thing ugly. And I'm gonna have to sit down for this one because there's something that we need to talk about. Sports betting has become massive, even in terrible football games. The betting over-under for Thursday night football between the New England Patriots and Pittsburgh Steelers is testing a 30-year low. The total on the game dropped to 29.5 earlier this week before a consensus 30 at sportsbooks on Thursday. That would be the lowest over-under since a 2006 divisional playoff game between the Panthers and the Bears. A playoff game with a 30 as the over-under. There's no weather. There's no rain. There hasn't been a total under 30 since December 26th, 1993. It was sub-zero, and the over-under for that game was below 30. It was 29.5 with the Patriots. It was 28 with the Patriots winning 38-0. These are some bad teams that we're going to be watching tonight. I'm trying to explain. Don't watch it. Just don't do it. Don't subject yourself to this. I know you got the sports guy telling you not to watch a sport tonight. I know it's football. I know we only get a few weeks of it every year. But just stay away from this one. Unless you want to hear Al Michaels just try to entertain himself throughout the game. Because that has been the most enjoyable part of Thursday night football for the majority of this year and last year, for that matter, is just trying to hear Al Michaels make it fun. Because most of these games are not fun. They're pretty bad. We are also moving along in our NHL season. The Carolina Hurricanes, they played yesterday, and I don't have the soundbite because it just sounds terrible. You can't really tell what he's saying. But he was interviewed during the first intermission when the Carolina Hurricanes were losing 4-0. And you know how they have those bench interviews after the period, during the period? He said, and I quote, "We're on our way to losing 50-0. He was beside himself. Couldn't believe what he was seeing. They outshot the Edmonton Oilers, but they lost the game 6-1. The goaltending in Carolina has not been good. Ronta stopped 22 of 25. Kochekov stopped 3 of 6. That right there is 80% of the problem with the Hurricanes. It's the goaltending. Because they have a great team. They have a team where the skater depth is good enough to go win a Stanley Cup. I do firmly believe that. But I also am a very much a believer in the fact that the goaltending can't do it. And you need goaltending in the NHL to win the Stanley Cup. We see it year after year. It's always a big save or a big moment from a goaltender that ends up winning you the Stanley Cup. Think about St. Louis. Jordan Binnington had an amazing run that year. They won the Stanley Cup. Holtby with the Capitals when they won their Stanley Cup against the Knights. He made a save that saved their season. It comes down to goaltending. It really does. You can have all the forward depth, all the defensive depth that you want. But at the end of the day, you need an elite goaltender. Kochetkov, Ranta, they are not elite. And I know we have an injury right now. And, we'll move past it. But I just don't see the Hurricanes' goaltending situation getting any better. The trade deadline isn't for another few months. But when we get there, I really, really hope that they think about a goaltender. And there's always somebody available. Ronta's played 12 games. He's 6-4. Kochetkov has played 11 games. He's 4-5-1. Freddie Anderson had a decent start to the year. 4-1. But then he got hurt. I don't know where the Hurricanes decide to go from here. They are really starting to concern me a little bit. The Metro is there. They're right behind the Hurricanes. They've lost 2 in a row now. That means the Flyers are now a point behind. A point behind them are the Islanders. A point behind them are the Capitals. A point behind them are the Devils and the Penguins. Everybody's right there. You can't go on these 2, 3, 4 game losing streaks. You just can't do it. Quick little update for you in the in-season tournament game as we get to the end of this show today. Tie game, 78-78 with 4 minutes left in the third. It's a good one. The winner gets to go. I can't with this court. The winner gets to go play for the in-season cup, I guess is what it's called. But this court is so ugly. It's blue. It's red. It's gold. It's black. There's too much going on. I get it. I like the idea. Try and spice things up a little bit as I knock the microphone out of the way. Try and spice things up a little bit. I get it. This isn't the way to do it. It's ugly. It's hard to watch. Some of the courts were nice. Some of them did look nice. But this one, I could do without it. No other real breaking news as of right now. Actually, I did want to mention this as I pull this up. There was another golfer. We'll get into some golf news. Why not? There's another golfer who has decided to leave the PGA Tour and head over to the to Live Golf, L-I-V, Live Golf. I guess we're calling it Live Golf. One of the top, actually the former #1 player in the world, Jon Rahm, leaving the PGA Tour, and he is set for a stint in the Live. I saw a report, and you never know with these reports with the contracts how much he's making. But I saw $400 million. I don't know if that's right. It seems like a lot, but it also does seem feasible considering some of the contracts that they've thrown around. It's I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the golf game. Honestly, they said the deal is reportedly 3 years, $300 million. Reportedly, so 300, 400, something like that. I don't know. Golf is weird. There's a lot of pride with the PGA Tour. There's a lot of not wanting to bend. Somebody's got to be an adult. I feel like right now there are no adults in the room when it comes to golf. That is your show for today. That is your sports update. Remember, tomorrow, basketball for high school, football championships, state championships. Well, we have one tomorrow. The remaining 3 are on Saturday. Tonight, in-season tournament for the NBA. Close game. 90-88 Milwaukee. And if you can stomach it, the 2-10 Patriots taking on the 7-5 Steelers. Oh, boy. Thanks for tuning in this week. Well, today. We got one more show this week. It's only Thursday. And I'll be here tomorrow. same time, same place. We'll make sure that we cover everything. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.